In this video, I am taking War Machine through Blitz with some alternative teams, plus I'm opening my War Initiative Orbs, so let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hey, what's up all you Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. And in this video, we are talking about some alternative teams for War Machine. Plus, I got some footage of me opening these War Initiative Orbs. So I'm going to open that at the end of the video. So how did this come about? Well, was talking on Discord with Tony Bing and Dorian Blades from the Ravager Report podcast. And they were talking about some alternative teams for War Machine. And I liked what Tony came up with. And he's subsequently done a video about it. But on Friday, he hadn't. And I wanted to take this team through Blitz. And I wanted to experiment with some other teams for War Machine as well, because Ant-Man is not a very exciting Blitz for me. I already have him at 7 stars. So perfect time to experiment with some alternative teams. And I've got a few different teams here. I think I do like Tony's best, though. So if you've checked out his video, then you'll know what team I'm talking about. But so this video is just kind of me experimenting with some teams, trying them out, having a little fun. Hopefully there will be a test server so we could do this kind of stuff more often and show some more footage. But let me take you to the footage of that I recorded this past weekend. And let me switch it to, there we go. All right, so I start off with this team at tier 3. And this team is fun. Now, the main issue that I have is I got power levels all over the place. I think at this point, our War Machine was maybe about 15,000 power. I'll show you where my current power levels are at the end of this video. But just looking for a very easy opponent at this point because I want to test it out. You know, there's a little bit of tricks with Luke Cage here. You got Shield Trooper offering a little bit of tricks with his counters. And then you always got to be wary of this guy, Crossbones, with his detonate. And, you know, the opening move from Magneto blinds everybody, so it kind of cripples them. He's not getting his counters attacks off as often. You know, the other guys doesn't affect Daredevil, but it does with Wolverine. And, man, there's just so much power. I love that adjacent attack that's War Machine does. His special just does so much damage. And then it's pretty much over. At tier 3, the opponents are pretty weak, so I keep moving on. We're up to tier 6 now, so the opponents are getting a little more level, but and as I'm going through this weekend, I'm building up my War Machine for those milestones in hopes to get them as strong as possible. And this is kind of a weird team. Not a lot of synergy. Cable, Wasp, Gamora, Nebula, you know, Black Widow's kind of a weird team, but this team just wipes through them again. And one of the things I like about this team is these battles are over so quickly. One thing I don't like about this team, I'm taking War Machine and Iron Man from another team, and then I'm splitting up my Brotherhood team too. So these are more fun teams if you're kind of getting bored with Blitz and want to try some new teams. That's what I would recommend these teams for. I don't know if these are meta teams, but they are definitely fun to play with. And if you could sacrifice moving some of these characters around, I would say this is a very fun team to play as. Well, let's go into the next battle here. We're at tier 7 now, so this is probably Saturday or so. And found an Avengers team. Now, this was a pretty meta team at one point, maybe about 5-6 months ago, before S.H.I.E.L.D. got their rework, before Defenders got their rework. This is a very strong team. Not so much anymore, but even at tier 7, this team is still doing very well. And the power levels are starting to get a little closer as I'm starting to build up War Machine. And I love that move. That move is so fun to do. And like, I mean, everybody is still in the green at tier 7. Now it gets a little more tricky because this next battle that I do with this team is up at tier 8. Let's see where they are. I think it's 8.1 right here. Give it a little challenge. This team could be a little tricky. I think we go back to that Luke Cage one with Crossbones. Oh, actually, we go with this one. I think that's the next battle that we have a Crossbones in there. But little bit of tricks. You know, Captain America offers some tricks. You got an extra taunter here with Miss Marvel, so not not an easy team at tier 8, but they don't have a lot of synergy. So any properly synergized teams should be able to beat this team. And this team just does so much damage. We've got the taunts coming with War Machine. When they get below a certain health, you get heal blocks from Pyro that come when they go below a certain health point. So some very trickiness coming on with this team here. I'm liking it. And again, I got to give Tony Bing credit for this because he's the one that came up with this team. Just talking on Discord. Yeah, it was a fun team. And all right, so this next battle is this team again at tier 8.3, and I'm looking for someone tricky. Now, this is a pretty tricky team right here, even with a highly synergized team. Now, this team, I do like their synergy, but their power levels there's some big gaps between them. So, not ideal for Blitz, especially when your damage dealer is one of the low ones there. But one of your damage dealers is the low one. So using that big taunt killer there and trying to remove that from Spider-Man, a little bit of overkill there with Sabretooth, but having some fun here. Now, the big thing that you'll notice on this battle is that Crossbones does get his detonate off. Not a lot that I could have done differently. Maybe use Sabretooth's move in a different fashion, but to get around that taunt from Thanos, just little too tough for this team because they don't have a lot of protection. They don't have a lot of debuffs. Don't have a lot of tricks. And boom, Crossbone takes them out right there. Almost died with Thanos, but you know, not a lot of help from War Machine and Iron Man in the end. Magneto and Sabretooth pretty much do it. All right, so this was, let me pause this right here because this is the team I was thinking about. Now, wanted War Machine and Iron Man because they pair well together. I brought in Nick Fury because the way his ultimate works, War Machine's ultimate works, is that it gets a boost for more hero allies on the field. So wasn't sure if the minions were counted. Now I have heard that they do count towards this bonus, so I wanted to see if I could maximize that. And then I just thought a little extra protection, a little extra speed would help. So I brought in Cap and Black Widow to kind of round out the team. Again, two of the formerly meta characters there. But we'll see what happens here on this battle. Thanos is always tricky, especially when you don't have anybody to really remove his taunt. You got an extra taunt there from Captain America and a bunch of defense ups going. So, again, even with a properly synergized team, this team does pose some problems if you don't have the right team. And I think defenders will go good with this team. It could pose some problems for S.H.I.E.L.D. depending on the difference in power level, just because S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't really have anybody that could get around Thanos' taunts. You kind of gotta go through it. And battle looking in bad shape here, honestly. I mean, this team is not looking like they're doing well, but I think Fury comes in at the end and saves everybody again. The damage there is looking pretty good. And honestly, I've looked at the damage numbers on these. I wasn't able to tell if Fury's minions really help that situation a lot. So we got one more battle with this team, and then we're going to check out another team. Then we're going to go open some Orbs, the War Initiative Orbs. All right, so just kind of taking down Thanos and looking for the come-from-behind victory at this point because the other team got a really early advantage. That probably would have been good to try to stun Captain America at this point instead of just trying to stun Thanos because you're not going to stun him if he has his taunt up. But I think the best damage right here because Thanos does offer the most damage. So I want to take him out before he could do just that and take out War Machine. Got close. All right, so there's Thanos. He's down. We have a few extra minions helping us. So it's really these guys. Captain America, Black Widow, Nick Fury carrying this team because of the difference in power levels. War Machine, Iron Man didn't really make a difference. I think by this point, I had his War Machine skills at 6664. Iron Man is still at 5554 for me. So I'm going to try to pause this during the big attack. Now, I chose this team purposefully because Drax offers a little bit of trickiness as well, especially when you don't have someone that could reliably remove it. I know Captain America can remove it, but you're not doing that on the first turn. You're using Inspire. So we'll see what the damage numbers look like with War Machine. I'll try to go real slow here and pause it for you guys so you can see the damage numbers, see the difference that it may potentially make. And his skill is coming up just a little bit. Iron Man goes first. He has 101 speed. War Machine's down at 100, so he's going right after Iron Man. So let's take a look. This is his ultimate. One good thing about Cap is he gives that energy out with Inspire, so War Machine could use his ultimate on turn 1 once you have it leveled. All right, so there is the damage, and there are the numbers there. You can look at them, not that crazy, about 20,000 or so, but that is with a very under-leveled War Machine. And I think he's getting the boosts from these extra minions. I can't tell because every battle had different opponents, and I was building up these characters, so I couldn't really tell if it was the damage increasing from the extra minions or for me just building up the characters. And you could see that this battle takes a little bit longer than the one with that Brotherhood team. War Machine just goes down pretty quickly there. Iron Man as well, because they're way far behind these other characters in terms of power. Got to take out Drax, unfortunately. You gotta when you go into battle with Drax, you need to have a way to remove that initially, or it needs to be in your plan to go ahead and try to kill Drax, because he's gonna have that taunt, and you gotta be able to kill him. So I was kind of having fun at this point. Not a team I would bring in against Drax, but we'll see what these guys could do. And it looks like it's going to have to be another come-from-behind victory with this team, as you'll see. Taking out Thanos, and we're getting some health back slightly. Wolverine is still doing damage. And luckily, we have that stun from Black Widow to kind of slow him down. But, again, these battles were just for fun for me because I wasn't putting too much effort into the Ant-Man Blitz. So I'm finishing him off in just a little bit with the help of his minions, actually. But yeah, it's pretty much Nick Fury and Black Widow that did the work here. Some decent damage numbers from Iron Man and War Machine, but it's hard to tell how good this team would be once they are around the same power level. All right, and this is the team that Dorian suggested. Instead of using Black Widow, use Jessica Jones to get the Inspire, or to get his ultimate off a little better. But with Captain Inspire, not sure if it's needed, but the results are a lot better just because this is not as strong of a team. They don't have to go through Drax. Let's check it out in action, though. This battle takes a little bit of time, but the end result is a lot better. Threat here, Crossbones and Quake. Once they are gone, then it's kind of over. So I think I did this battle yesterday, and starting off with the AoE, Captain America makes it a little stronger, and then we got the AoE here. So let's go through these damage numbers, see if I can pause it at the right time. I actually think I turned it down to 1x speed so we can see these damage numbers a little better. You can see he had an extra minion on the field. The damage is a little higher, so I think that they do make a difference. And then we got a big critical hit here at 30,000 damage. So I'm thinking once he gets ramped up, he will be very, very strong, especially if you surround him with a bunch of heroes for that ultimate. And then Captain America, I think, goes great with War Machine to give him that extra energy so he can get that ultimate off right on turn 1. A lot of luck involved because the energy goes to random allies, but we've got them lucky with it. All right, so finishing them off here. Biggest threat, I think, is Crossbones. I think we got to take him out, and we do. It's kind of interesting to look back at my battle, see what I'm doing, and see if I can pick up mistakes, and see if I can remember my logic going through my head at the time that I was playing this battle. But this was definitely something yesterday. Once I got to tier 8, wasn't going to push hard on this Ant-Man Blitz, but this experimentation made me want to get up to tier 8 so I could just test out some of these teams here. And I think it's the opponents. I don't think it's Jessica Jones that made that much of a difference, but I'd like to do a little more testing. And again, if we had that test server would be real awesome. All right, so that is the last battle. Let's go into these War Initiative orbs. So what I did, every time I opened the orb, I recorded the footage, and these are my first 2 from that first night. So this must have been on Thursday night, and got lucky initially and pulled War Machine right there in the center pillar. And I actually do it again, boom, with a blue one. So both times got him. Now this next one, I forgot to record the actual opening, but I got Scarlet Witch here. So this was my 3rd orb in the center pillar. For me, I have her at 7 stars, so this wasn't that great of a pull. We'll move on to the next pull. There's the results there from that Blitz. All right, the next pull, this was a little later, sometime this weekend, and got lucky again, got a purple in the, well, blue, but I don't know, whatever. Again, it's a 14, so I guess it's purple. But, and then got lucky again. So I was wondering if every time I recorded it, because I didn't record that Scarlet Witch opening, I got a center pillar with War Machine, but this is one that I just opened just now. Oh, actually, this is not. This was another one that I opened earlier this morning, and the last one is the one that I opened just now. So this is actually the first time I was recording the actual opening. Didn't get War Machine, but did get Black Panther, which is another character that I'm working on. Good character, and I don't have him at 7 stars, so it's always a good thing, right? All right, so that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna just show you my roster real quick so you can see their power levels. Nick Fury's all the way up here. Who else did we use? We used some Brotherhood. We used Captain America. He's at 36. Black Widow right now is at 31, and these guys were all the same. Magneto's at 27. Sabretooth, 30. Pyro, 28. Now, War Machine, I've got him up to 25 at the highest, and Iron Man is at 20. So the big ones that changed was War Machine, and I started working on Iron Man a little bit more so they'll get some synergy. But that's where they were power level, guys. And Jessica Jones was right here at 32. But that is it. A little fun video for you guys. I hope you like this. Kind of taking stuff back to the old school. A lot of offers here. Jeez. All right. If you guys like this video, please subscribe to the channel. There is a link down below to BlueStacks if you want to play on your computer. If you have any other teams that you want me to test out, depending on who this next Blitz is, I might not be playing hard, so I could test out a bunch of other teams for War Machine. I'll try to get them to similar power levels so these teams will make a little more sense. Working on War Machine right now, but definitely want to get Iron Man up to a similar power level. That is it. I'm live streaming tonight. Might be a little later than usual, but I hope we'll see you guys there. And we got something interesting coming up on the live stream tonight, so I definitely hope I see you guys there. I will see you next time. I do have one question for you, though, before you go. What you gonna do, brother, when ValleyFlyin and all the Valley Manias come down on YouTube? ValleyFlyin, out.